Continuing our segment about success. This time we're going to talk about your dream job, your dream job, not dreaming in your job, your dream job. How do you fall into your dream job? Most people don't. Most people don't. As a result of that, they're very unhappy with their situation at work. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do in order to be successful? So first of all, you have to understand that most of the time, not those who are successful are happy more than those who are happy are successful. Okay? Most of the people who are happy will be successful with their life. Most of the people that are bitter aren't going to make it. Whatever happened to you, whatever somebody did to you, or didn't do to you, you have to understand to leave it in the past. There's nothing you can do about it. Learn your lesson and move on. If you're going to keep on regurgitating the past, you're going to keep on repeating the same pattern of misery, and you're never going to break out of it. And that's the bottom line. Your parents were not nice to you when you were, or did not give you things when you were young. Okay, so they didn't. Is there anything you can do to change it? No. But what you're going to do, you're going to keep on going on the same pattern, and this pattern is going to repeat itself, and you're going to get frustrated, and so on and so forth. And then, when it comes to work, it's the same thing. Most people don't know how to look for their job, not for a job, for their job. The first step in landing your dream job, your career job, is to really be honest with yourself. And that is maybe too big of a task to ask for most people. We don't want to be honest with ourselves. So how do you go about? If I will ask you to make a list of 10 different fields in which you could see yourself doing, most people will write the same thing, because they do see themselves as being businessmen, successful, lawyers, doctors, blah, blah, the whole nine thing. Look how many people be going to dentistry nowadays, not because they like dentistry, just because they looked at the New York government, job, whatever salary thing that they post out, and dentists are like maybe at the highest or one of the closest to the highest there. So everybody wants to become a dentist, not because they like, drilling into people's teeth, just because they like the money. But that makes very bad dentists, and as a result of that, everybody hates the dentist. Same thing with medicine. How many people went to medicine, not because they really are intrigued by medicine, and they're fascinated with that, and even they really want to be able to give service to people. A doctor is a person who gives service to people. Most people don't want to serve anyone. And that's why we have lousy doctors. They cannot give you 5 minutes of their lousy time. They will make you wait in their office for 45 minutes to see you for 5 minutes, and will charge you an arm and a leg. That's why the Gemara says the best doctor goes to hell. Atov sheba rofim lagehenam. Because of that. Because they don't really like what they do. They like the nameplate on the car, MD. They like the salary, they like this, doctor so-and-so. So when he called you, right, they say, this is doctor, Okay, so when I call him, I say, excuse me, this is Rabbi so-and-so? No, that's my name. They're always doctor. So this is not going to work. Making a list of all the things that you would like to do, that's not going to make it to most people. Now you need to therefore make a different list. You need to make a list of what we call not to-do list. I call it the jobs in which, or the fields in which, as I say to some guys, put a gun to my head, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to enjoy it. There's nothing. And you can't think about the immediate now. You have to think about put things in perspective, that this is something you're going to be doing for at least 40 years to no end. I mean, 40 years. We are always perplexed by Bnei Israel going to the Midbar for 40 years. You're going to go into your own desert for 40 years, wandering and wandering and wandering and wandering, and something that you don't like. So you need to be very, very honest with yourself, to make a list of things, of fields, not specific jobs, fields. And you got to be very, very honest with yourself. That's the biggest problem, the self-honesty, that we lie to ourselves all the time. And when you make this list, you need to realize that you will have to make some very, very painful decisions and acknowledgments, and you need to give up certain dreams that you had because you just don't possess the skills. Right? Somebody I know always wants to be a fighter jet pilot. Okay, well, who stopped you? Why didn't you become a fighter jet pilot? Why did you become a doctor? Why did you become a lawyer? Nobody stopped you for going to the Army or to the Air Force and becoming a fighter. So you didn't want to do that. Okay, so don't complain. Wake up, Mike. So you need to realize that not necessarily everything that you love, it's something that you're actually very good at. Let's say, argument's sake, I don't, but let's say argument's sake, I love dancing, but I have 2 left feet, and one of them is shorter than the other. So I cannot be a dancer. I love it, but I can be a dancer. Certain different things like that. Oh, I would love to be an Air Force fighter pilot. You're right, but I get dizzy if you spin me 2 seconds, and I don't have, so I can't be a pilot. So what could I be? You need to be honest with yourself. You need to be very honest with yourself. You need to find something that you really, really are good at. Knowing yourself. You're the only one who knows yourself. Nobody knows you. Because everybody knows the illusion in which you had created to yourself. We all live in a mask. We're all playing a game in a movie. We don't let the people know really who we are. Very few people do. So what people know is it's a mask. And it's true in anything. From presidents and prime ministers to politicians to the doctors to even your parents, even yourself. We're selling an illusion of an image. We're not, because we are very fragile, we feel very weak. So we can express to people really who we are. But you gotta really know what you're good at. For example, I'm good at, really, not my fantasy, I'm really good at, argument's sake. Let's say, for example, I thought I would be very good in business. And I can make a business, I can sell this or I can sell that. But I really see that I'm good at teaching people. So why would I become a businessman? I would be a teacher. Understand? That's the problem with teaching as well. If you take the educational field, most people, not all, but most teachers did not choose teaching because they really saw a mission in their job. They didn't do it because that's what they really wanted to do. They do so because of the package that they have, the benefits that they have there, the fact that they don't have to work 10 months, because they had nothing better to do, right? It is decent money. So what do you get as a result of that? Bad teachers. As a result of that, become very easily burnt out. And as a result of that, the students suffer, and we have no education. Okay? So you need to make this list and to be very, very honest with yourself. Of course, you also need to have the discipline to want to do something with yourself. One needs to understand that to sit at home with mommy and daddy until you're 25, 30 years old, doing absolutely nothing, or 35 years old, or 40 years old, is absolutely not acceptable. So you need to be able to set yourself a certain timeline of progression. Not necessarily you get to this timeline, but you have something to work with. So that's another thing you should be doing. You need to check if you are in a job right now or going to school, if you are in the right field or in the right job. What does it mean? If you, for example, work by what is it called, your gut feeling, if you have a strong gut feeling, and you don't think on every step that you make, right? I need to do this, I need to do so. You simply feel. I know it's like naturally comes to you. Most likely you're in the right field. You have those hinges, this gut feeling, and you know what to do. There are people, I've seen people in business operate like that. They just have that gut feeling to do something, and they do it and become successful. I've seen people in many fields doing what they love to do, and it is just amazing. And it's amazing how they are excited about doing this and doing that, and some people just simply love to sell. They're good salesmen because they love it, so they become terrific. And it's really amazing to see people operate like this. And yet you see people who don't really have everything to say, excuse me, what should I be doing now? What else do you want me to do? Right? That shows you're not doing what you love to do. Because if you really love what you do, argument's sake, let's say you work in a bagel store, and you really love to work in a bagel store. I know somebody who works in a bagel store, and he actually loves it. Why? Because people come in, people go, he gets to schmooze with people, he loves this human interaction. So he stays there to work late, he always takes upon himself extra tasks, he doesn't, and slowly he progressed to become a manager. Okay, it's a bagel store, but listen, he's on his way eventually to maybe have one day his own bagel store. Because he knows what to do. He doesn't wait for the manager to tell him, excuse me, go pick up over there the paper, or go clean the counter. He does it himself. It comes natural to him. Yes, somebody could have his dream job to work in a bagel store. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any job if you like to do it. The Gemara says that there's no such field that a person will do that it's an embarrassing field to be in. Even if it's garbage collecting or plumbing, if you like to do that, you like to do it. And nobody is entitled to tell you no. I know somebody who is an expert mechanic. He dreams cars. He knows all the parts, everything, old cars, new cars. He loves to do it. His parents are giving him hell not to be in this job, to going to business, going to nursing, going to this. Why? Chas v'shalom, somebody will say you'll become a grease monkey. Okay. I have a guy in my neighborhood, he loves cars. And I remember they had a small shop somewhere, him and one of his partners. And they started small. Because he loved it, He said he went to Yeshiva. I said, I really like cars. I want to do it. So he got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. He opened another place. He has another place upstate New York. And what he does, he has his workers. They work for the cars. But his real passion is restoring old cars. So he restores cars and sells them. And he actually likes to do what he does. He has a lot of money. And he's enjoying what he's doing. Now, he is enjoying what he's doing, not because he has a lot of money, but just the other way around. because he is enjoying what he's doing, he has the money, he's successful. And that's something very, very important for you to understand. And as I said, it starts with your honesty. You gotta be honest with yourself. Because you would get away lying to yourself more than you even dare to lie to others. So in other words, you are the subject of the biggest lies that you put out there. Laziness, of course, will kill you. Laziness will kill you. Procrastination will kill you. YouTube will kill you. All these things will kill you because they teach you absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But, one day the dream will come up and your parents will say to you, "Oh, honey, we are selling the house. We're moving to Florida." And they say, "Oh, about me?" So, "How about you? You're 45 years old. It's about time you're going to be on your own." Right? Don't ask yourself, all the time, "Oh, he has such a good job. He has so much money. I don't. My job is less." No, why is it? It's not what is it. He has his job. You have your job. Are you happy in your job? Yes. That's all it counts. You'll become a better person to be with. As a result of that, you'll be a success story. A person that gets along with his wife after 35 years they've been married. A person that gets along with his kids. A person that gets along with people. Because that's what you project. You feel good about yourself. So don't ask, "Oh, why come he has this job and I don't?" Because you look at him, is he really happy in his job? Okay? Look, for example, at what you have. You have a job. We used to say, love the one you're with. So I tell you, love the job you're in. Love the job that you do. Because at the end, let's say for example, you weren't able to really, for whatever reason, you had lack of ability to really dwell into yourself and to come up with a field in which you really are good at. So you said, "Listen, I'm going to do this. I can live with this job." Make yourself love the job that you are doing. Why? Because ultimately, if you're not going to love what you do, you have no chance to succeed. Sometimes life will take you on a journey of its own. You wanted to do, and you love, for example, argument's sake, you like to make cheese and to be a farmer, and you want to be a farmer. And you went to this and so on and so forth, and you went to farming school, and you met a nice girl, and her father is rich, or her father is this, and all of a sudden life takes you on a spin, and it brings you to, to the other side of the world, and he says, "Listen, you got to work in my textile company," or whatever it is that you have. And you're there. Life has its own energy. Find things that are positive in this job, and love the fact that you're doing something. It doesn't mean you have to do it. Why? Because if not, you for sure are going to fail. You're going to fail. You need to create a balance in your job, of course, between your life and your job, your life and your job all the time. And even the best job in the world that you really love, that job itself could not be 24/7. The job is a job. It's finished. That's it. I'm done. But you have to teach yourself to find the positive aspects of your job and getting to know to love it. You have to remember that there are many jobs out there, and there are many people out there, and people spread up upon many different fields, and many people compromise about the jobs, and that most of the people are not happy with what they're doing. So start asking people. The more people you ask, not about do you like this job or you like this job. If you could go back, let's say you have somebody in his 60s. If you go back 40 years, what would you have done? Would you have done the same thing, yes or no? These are the questions you have to ask. No, is this a good field to go into? Is this a good field? It's not a matter of it is a good field to get into. All fields are good. Question is if it's good for you. And that's what people don't ask. And that's why people fail. Now, if you don't want to fail, try to implement what we said. Have a great day.